I'm going to start with you, Kit. This is obviously your first movie. How was this whole experience for you?
Well, out of every bit of acting, this is by far the best. It was just amazing to meet like so many people like Rafe and Jim and Warwick and Jodie, and it was just like from the very first start of my acting, I thought when I first think of doing a movie, because I love Christmas, I really wanted it to be a Christmas movie, and just by my luck, it happened, and it was just from going to like little TV parts and things like that to straight into a full feature film, and it was just amazing.
And
really.
also where you're the main part.
Yeah.
Which is, it's pretty cool, man.
Surreal.
Yeah.
And though you are both the two lead roles, are you able to watch this movie and get caught up in the enchantment of it and sort of, get caught up in the story, or is it always difficult because you're the lead role?
I think because Christopher Smith is like a really good director, and although it's basically his first kids movie, it's unbelievable. You wouldn't believe that it's his first kids movie because it's done in such a way that like even the main roles can get caught up in it and can really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's always quite a strange experience seeing yourself in something, isn't it? But when something is good, it's easy to forget, And I believe this is a really lovely film, and it's pretty cool seeing yourself flying a sleigh and hanging out with Father Christmas,
Because Rafe, it must be quite sort of rewarding, I suppose, and quite comforting to know that you've made a movie that you can kind of take to younger members of your family to, or your kids to, because I suppose a lot of the other films you've made are slightly, well, they could be too adult themed, I suppose.
Sure, yeah. This is maybe my first foray into the world of the family film, and I think a lovely thing about Christmas films is they're not just for one Christmas. It's much like a puppy that they sustain, and every Christmas they can be revisited for time immemorial, really. Look at films that are made in the 50s, like It's a Wonderful Life, which is still absolutely evoke suitable feelings of Christmas and fervour and warmth and everything that you associate with your personal idea of what Christmas is. And one of the things, aside from Christmas dinner and presents, that we associate with Christmas as sitting around as a family and watching TV or watching a movie. And so to be a part of that legacy of Christmas films, as it were, is a really lovely thing, especially, as you say, now I've got my own children.
Because, I was just wondering as well, Rafe, though this is a kind of a children's film at its core, the character you're playing is very nuanced and very quite, there's a lot of kind of layers to this role. I was wondering, and you can almost pick it up and place it in any drama and it wouldn't feel out of place. How important was it to you that you had a role that was still tested you and your dramatic kind of potential? It wasn't just a kind of, I'm in a kids' film. It was actually quite a tough one to play, I suppose.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's always a difficult thing to play someone at the centre of a film, because you are in some ways the conduit for the audience. You're their eyes and ears, and you have to play someone that a lot of people can relate to. So that's a different issue on its own. But in terms of playing a well-rounded character, I simply wouldn't have done the film if that wasn't the case. And even though we are in a original and fantastical world, it is still your responsibility to try and play a real person. And that was the tone that Chris Smith has set, actually, is of naturalism and really, obviously there's lots of levity involved and it's a caper at heart, but it needs to be real, because if something is fantastical but without logic in some area, then it's going to be difficult to latch onto as an audience. So it needs to be something that people can relate to by trying to bring as much truth as you can to any given situation.
My final question is just, I just wondering what you both think Santa would make of this movie, and what do you think he'd make of Jim Broadbent's performance playing him?
I think Jim Broadbent's literally, he plays such good Santa. I think Santa would be quite proud, if anything. I think that especially because Jim Broadbent's playing him. I mean, Jim Broadbent's such a legend. I think Santa would be quite like proud, like a legend is playing.
Me.
Yeah.
I think that if Santa could choose,
He'd
probably choose Jim
Jim.
Broadbent. Yeah. If he had all of the, because I mean, obviously he knows every actor in the world, and he's been visiting Jim Broadbent even when he was a kid and that. But he, I think he'd choose if he had his choice, he'd choose Broadbent.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's much appreciated.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,